On a quiet Sunday morning in a small suburban town, 72-year-old Harold Thompson, a retired history teacher and Vietnam veteran, walked to his favorite cafe for breakfast. Dressed in his usual brown jacket and old cap, he was humming softly to himself as he carried his newspaper under one arm. But his peaceful morning took a dark turn when two young police officers suddenly stopped him outside the cafe. "Sir, we've had reports of a suspicious man matching your description," one officer said coldly. Harold was confused. "Suspicious? I live 2 blocks away," he replied calmly, but the officers weren't listening. Within minutes, they had him pressed against a wall, handcuffing him roughly as onlookers watched in disbelief. Some people whispered, others pulled out their phones to record. Harold tried to explain that he was a local resident and a decorated veteran, but the officers ignored his pleas, their tone growing harsher by the second. Unbeknownst to them, Harold's son, Commander Marcus Thompson, a decorated U.S. Navy SEAL, was on a short visit home after a classified mission overseas. Marcus had stopped by the cafe to surprise his father, only to find a crowd gathering outside. As he approached, his blood ran cold. He saw his father in handcuffs, trembling as 2 officers shoved him toward a police car. "Hey!" Marcus shouted, his voice commanding. "What's going on here?" One officer turned, unimpressed. "Stay out of this, sir. This man is under suspicion." Marcus stepped closer, his tone steady but icy. "That man," he said, locking eyes with the officer, "is my father, a veteran, and you're making a huge mistake." Still, the officers didn't back down. One scoffed, "Unless you're his lawyer, step away." That was when Marcus calmly pulled out his military ID. The crowd gasped as they saw the emblem, U.S. Navy SEAL Commander. The officers' faces went pale. Marcus's sharp gaze cut through their arrogance like a knife. "You just arrested a man who spent his life defending this country," he said, his voice low and firm. "You profiled him because of his skin color, and now the world will know." Within minutes, the police chief arrived, apologizing profusely as Harold was released. The crowd erupted in anger and applause, some recording, others comforting Harold. Marcus held his father's hand tightly. "You shouldn't have to fight anymore, Dad," he whispered. Harold smiled weakly. "I taught you to fight for what's right, son. And today, you did." By evening, the video of the arrest had gone viral. The department faced public outrage and suspension of the officers involved. Harold's quiet dignity and Marcus's courage became a symbol of justice, proof that respect and humanity should never depend on the color of one's skin.